All right, Robbie.
Yeah.
Robbie, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Bancroft, West Virginia. I grew up in Nitro and Polk area. And right now I'm in an apartment by myself.
How old are you?
33, just turned 33 in March.
Mm-hmm. And you grew up out here in West Virginia. What was your family life like?
It was good. I was actually adopted. I never knew my biological donors, is what I call them. Just not sugarcoat anything. I never knew my bio mom because she was murdered and was an alcoholic. That's what's wrong with me.
When you say wrong with you, what do you mean wrong with you?
Well, I've got a syndrome called fetal alcohol syndrome.
Oh, fetal alcohol syndrome.
Yeah, from where my bio donor drank and did drugs when I was in the womb. Did a lot of damage to me. I had to have a lot of life-saving surgeries, including here on my neck and on my stomach, just to save my life.
So it affects your health in terms of like your breathing?
Yes, it does. Very much so.
What other kind of things did it affect, or does it affect?
Well, it affects my decision making. It affects like my everyday life. I struggle to comprehend some stuff. My parents have to help me along with everything. But I am independent. It's just for like medical stuff and money-wise. But other than that, I'm pretty independent.
You finished school, high school?
Yes. I was held back a year in high school, which is not a big deal. I mean, it's life sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And how was your childhood with your adopted parents?
It was great. I would always go to like Cincinnati for my surgeries and stuff to save my life. I would always go to like Reds games, stuff like that, just to keep my mind off of everything that was happening. In the hospital, when I had surgeries, some of the kids around me didn't make it because of different illnesses and stuff like that. Still kind of traumatized by it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And, you know, it's difficult sometimes just remembering some of the stuff that had happened.
For example, what do you mean?
Like, the kid next to me in the next unit ended up passing away. I remember I would hear screams in the night sometimes, you know, just a bunch of hospital stuff. Like, there were so many kids that died in that unit. I was one of the lucky ones. And I'm blessed to have the surgeries that saved my life. I've had like 4 or 5 different surgeries on my throat to expand my airway. And like 1 or 2 on my stomach because I would throw up every day when I was a child.
Did it make it difficult for you as a child? Like in high school, kids can be cruel?
Oh yeah, I was bullied a lot. I mean, there was some times that I wanted to give up, but I didn't. Because I know God has a better plan for me than what this earth can offer.
It's nice that you had good adopted parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody took care of you.
Like, oh yeah.
Like your own parents, your biological parents were not able to.
No, well, the only thing I know about my biological parents is my biological mother was murdered in Sissonsville somewhere.
This was how old were you when this happened, do you think?
Oh gosh, maybe a year old or so.
What do you know your dad at all?
No, it's a mystery. There was a few people that they thought that it might be, but they have no idea who it was.
And your mom grew up where?
Are you talking about the
Or
biological?
your biological mom lived where?
I don't know anything about her at all.
Yeah. But you've lived here in West Virginia, near Charleston,
Yes,
for your whole life.
yes.
And as an adult, have you had jobs or done anything like that?
I've had a couple of jobs here and there. My first job was I was a gopher for this company called CCCI, which is Chittenden Custom Carpentry Inc. They ended up splitting and going out of business. And then I worked at Walmart, and it didn't go too well because of some problems from fetal alcohol syndrome. And then, you know where this car wash is now, the 5-star? That used to be a barbecue place that I used to work at. I would do the dishes and plus tables. And then they ended up selling out and not having enough business, so they got rid of me. So that's all my jobs I've had. And I hope a buddy of mine with his photography.
So the restricted airway is one result from the fetal alcohol syndrome.
Yes,
And
I also have scoliosis really bad.
scoliosis.
Yeah.
And then your stomach, you have issues there too?
Yeah, I think it was called like esophageal reflux or something like that. And that's part of the reason I had to have the surgeries is to repair my throat from where I would puke every day.
So your voice has been affected like this since you were young?
Yes, and actually I have paralyzed vocal cords. The way I'm talking right now is I had to use a muscle in the back of my throat with air. I think it's the larynx or something like that. But I'd have to get a doctor in there to, name what it is.
Are there any other effects from that, like mental or anything like that?
Yeah, I've got ADHD really bad, and I'm very slow coordinating stuff, and I don't drive because of that. It would be so nice to be able to have reliable transportation to places. My family does help, but I just don't like extra stuff that I want to do.
And is it difficult for you emotionally to deal with this as an adult?
Yes, it is.
You get depressed or?
A lot, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. It just makes me feel like, there are good days, mostly, but on my bad days, some days I feel worthless. But there's more good days than bad.
That's great.
Yeah.
Is it difficult to have relationships?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure, right?
I've had abusive relationships in the past. I've let people in that's taken advantage of me, money-wise and everything else. I even let someone I thought was my friend, hang out with me and everything, and that didn't go too well. Ended up having to call someone to get her out. Law enforcement, basically.
And do you have friends?
Was it?
Do you have friends?
Yeah, Travis, Tim. I've several of them, yeah.
That's great. You don't need a lot, just a few is enough, right?
Was it?
You don't need a lot, just a few is enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you feel any anger towards your mom or your dad?
I've forgiven her. It's just the fact that I'm like this. If she were still alive, I would ask her, why did you do this to me? It's been really hard on me emotionally, like I said.
Yeah. I mean, do you ever try to put yourself in your mom's shoes and understand that she was going through her own battles and
Yeah,
she couldn't just stop
I do.
drinking because it was the right thing to do? It's not as simple as that sometimes.
I know that. And as an adult now, just seeing what if people addicted to things, including some family members that used to have addictions. You know, it's a difficult road.
Yeah.
It changes you.
For sure. Have you ever battled with that?
No, I haven't. Just my depression.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, I try to do everything I can to not think about things. Usually play video games or play guitar to keep my mind off of it.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be a gym in Poca that I would go to all the time and work out, and that's gone now. So I've had to figure out other things to do with my depression.
Are you on medication for any of that?
I'm not. I refuse to take it because to me it makes me worse rather than better.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We tried it and I was getting worse and worse and worse.
What kind of drugs were you given?
Antidepressant and some sleep medication. I've also, when I was a child, I was on stuff like Adderall, Ritalin, stuff like that. I feel like that's affected me too. With some of the stuff, like my decision making and stuff.
Yeah. When you say decision making, how does that play out in your life?
I don't always make the right decisions. Really worse than most people. You know.
Do you have examples of how that's happened in your life?
Like I said, that friend I was letting hang around, she would borrow money and never give it back, or she would, then she and I would get into it with each other, and then it was just a mess. Try not to think about it.
Mm-hmm. Are you lonely?
Not really. I have family around me.
That's great.
Yeah.
What do you worry about now? What are you afraid of?
I'm just worried when my parents go, what am I going to do with my life, you know? Because they've always taken care of me. And always have had the best interest for me. Even though I don't see eye to eye with them a lot of the time. I always find that they're always right.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about, you know, in this part of the country, this part of Appalachia, especially, you are surrounded by people dealing with addiction. It's a very common story here.
It's really scary. Like, I feel bad for the ones that are addicted to stuff. I mean, I know maybe one or two people that have overdosed and died, including family members. I'm not going to mention their names or anything because it just happened. My hobbies include playing guitar, you know.
Do things like that help keep you
Yeah.
on track and
Yeah.
not get depressed? And
Yeah.
that's great. It's good to have something like that.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes feel like life is unfair that this happened to you?
Yeah, sometimes, but I gotta keep in mind too, you know, things will always get better no matter how bad your situation is.
Mm-hmm. Your attitude seems pretty great.
Yeah.
Given your circumstances.
Yeah. I think most people that would be in my circumstances would have given up by now.
Mm-hmm.
and have committed suicide or, dealt with it with drugs. I actually had a suicide attempt once, but it was unsuccessful, which I'm really blessed that it didn't.
Yeah, that would have been sad.
Yeah.
Do you feel like betrayed by your parents?
My biological family, yeah, because, I never was given a chance, but I've proved all the doctors and everyone else wrong. They said I wouldn't be able to walk or talk, and yet, here I am.
Yeah, no, you should be proud.
Yeah. Never thought I would be on my own, but I am.
Yeah, you should be very proud of yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, your story is an inspiration to, I'm sure, a lot of people that are going through similar problems. Maybe not the same exact one, but
Yeah.
there's many forms of what you went through.
Yeah. I mean, my childhood was good, but it was also dark in some ways. But there's times when I have dark humor about it too.
Mm-hmm. It's good to have a sense of humor.
Yeah. I mean, I may not know my reason to be on this earth, but, things will always look up, even though things are collapsing around you. You gotta look at it that way, or you won't survive.
Mm-hmm. Does religion help you?
Yeah, I'm actually a devoted Christian. Might not go to church very much, but I'm trying to get back into it.
Mm-hmm. Do you have goals in your life to do anything?
Well,
or is it more just survival at this point?
Survival, because, I would love to have a family one day. I would love to do a bunch of things, travel, maybe go to a few different concerts of bands that I like.
Mm-hmm. Have you been in love before?
Was it?
Have you been in love before?
Oh yeah, several times. It's not been easy in that area either.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I just, when you're in high school, you think, the person that you fall in love with, there's going to be there forever. But, I'd lost contact with her several times, and then when I finally got back to her, I found out she was married and was having kids. Mm. That was really hard on me. I've had a few good relationships here and there, but they never lasted. Been on and off with this one girl for 3 years, which, she's been pretty good to me.
That's great.
Yeah.
And what would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
Well, there's so many of them. Just be kind to others, no matter what your circumstances are, because you don't know what they're going through.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
All right, Robbie. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
No problem.
I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
You should be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I try to be.